Alright guys, it's the Unreal Man here. Let me just cross the road. Homie. Yes, it's the Unreal Man here. The truth of the manosphere. Okay, so I'm back with this live stream, man. Back with another live stream. I'm out in the rain, so if this ends abruptly, man, I'm telling you, it's because it's raining, man. I'll get the hell out of here. If it starts raining heavy, I'm getting the hell out of here, man. Which is not really a good idea to even do this stream, because if it starts raining heavily, I'm still gonna be out in the wet. You know, I'm still gonna get soaked anyway. It's stupid like to say if it starts raining heavily, I'm out, but I'm still gonna so. It's not like I live 1 minute away from here, but anyway, so yeah, man, I want to talk about this topic that I actually covered before on my previous channel. It's been a long time since I covered this. But like, you know, the Unreal Man never forgets, man. I never forget. I said I was gonna finish this video. I'm gonna finish this one, okay? I got a lot of backlash from making this. You know, a lot of people calling me this and that, but you guys didn't see the whole video because I didn't finish it. But today I'm gonna finish it. So, you know, we in this manosphere online, we have these communities of guys, right? They keep saying, you know, the problem, right, is that women have too high standards. You guys have heard this nonsense, this garbage. Oh, you know, women just have too high standards. You women, you need to lower your standards, man. You're rejecting men, which they are rejecting men, but that's a different thing. But anyways, so they say that women's standards are too high, okay? I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a lie. That's a straight up lie, that women's standards are too high. Yeah, of course, if you go on Instagram and message some, you know, popular girl on there, yeah, she's gonna reject you. That's true. But that doesn't indicate the overall what's going on here. So I'm gonna give you guys some context. I'm gonna give you guys some context while I get soaked out here in the rain. You know, you guys are sitting comfy in your homes. I'm out here getting soaked. Well, you know, it's all good, man. As long as it don't come down too hard, I'm okay. So yeah, I want to talk about this here today. So, you know, when you talk about standards, right, you got two things, okay? You got women's standards, and then you got competition for women, okay? The both things are linked. If women have low standards, okay, that's gonna mean high competition. If women have high standards, it's gonna be lower competition once you reach a certain threshold of standards that women have. Let's say all women said, we're only gonna date guys over 6 feet tall. All women. The competition for women wouldn't even be that high. It would be low. Because if women X out all men under 6 feet tall, if women flat out refuse to date men under 6 feet tall, the men over 6 feet tall, which are probably about 20%, I'm estimating, they would have the dominion over women. You know, think about it. So high standards would set a certain threshold and basically command a very low level of competition, because those men who don't meet those standards wouldn't even make the cut. They wouldn't even make the cut to compete for the women. So that's one factor you have to consider, right? So, you know, when it comes to this topic, right, that we're talking about here, I'm going to give you an example, right? Let's say you have a job, okay? You have a job application, or what do you call it? A job post, okay? A job post. I need to cross this road carefully. Let's say you have a job post, okay? So one job post, let's say they're the same job, okay? What's the sound like, by the way? Is the sound good, or is the cars too much? I don't know, but Yeah, women's standards often cause extinction in life on this planet. Well, yeah, I mean, women do have the ability to do that, actually. That's true. But, so you have a job post, right? Both have the same location. Both have, it's the same job, the same location, the same everything, okay? Number of hours, everything. One of them requires you to have a degree. The other one requires you to have no degree. Which one is going to have more applicants? This is obvious. The one with no degree. The one with no degree is going to have far more applicants because the standards to apply for the job is lower. Okay? So, Copycat Ninja says women's expectations are lower than ever. We're going to get into that. But you're correct. But we're going to get into that. So, like with the job posting, it's the same in the dating scene. The reason why dating is so competitive today is because women's standards are so low. It's not because women's standards are so high. You know, women's standards are not so high. That's why you have such a myriad of guys getting results. Such a myriad of men get results on the dating scene because the standards are so low. That's why you have, manlets walking around with women, fat, obese men, And yes, you do have some good-looking men and rich men walking around with women, but the reality of the situation is the variation is so wide. Why the variation is so wide? Because the standards today are actually very low. We have to understand. I mean, if you just look at any low-income community, lower class, working class community, you will see women are dating bums. I mean, women are dating unemployed bums. Women are dating ugly. Women are dating some absolute losers. They have no qualifications. They have nothing. They are the biggest losers you can find on the street. But yet, they're not single. Now, you might say these are low quality women. Yes, they're not the highest quality women. I'm not saying that in these low income communities. I mean, generally, in lower income communities, you're going to find lower quality people. Yes, in lower income communities, you will find lower quality people. But the thing is, you're still getting a girl. They're still getting a girl. That's the thing. I mean, you look at a show like this show used to exist before it was cancelled. I don't even think it's on YouTube anymore, but this show is called the Jeremy Kyle Show. Okay, Jeremy Kyle. This show, the ugliest, dumbest, most retarded, this complete scum of society, the lowest people in society. Some of you guys might have seen this show. I don't think you can find it anymore unless you Google it. Jeremy Kyle Show. It was banned, I think, because people commit suicide on it or something like, people committed suicide after going on it or something like that. But this show, it just shows the kind of men that women are dating in these lower class communities. I mean, they talk about, red pill, right? And they say, oh, these women are practicing hypergamy. Okay? This is what they're telling to the people. Women are practicing hypergamy. Why are these women from these lower class communities not going into richer, more affluent areas to look for men? Why are they settling? And you might say, well, they're not high tier enough to get rich men. I agree, they're not high tier enough to get rich men. But a lot of average guys can't even get nothing though. A lot of average guys are doing worse than the low scum guys. And we're going to get into that later. So he says, back to Oofy Doofy. Well, Oofy Doofy is not, it's not just Oofy Doofy as well. Oofy Doofy is one factor. Oofy Doofy, I consider Oofy Doofy to be guys who are dating 2 points or higher than what their level is in looks. approximately. I'm not gay, so I don't rate men like that, but, and I see oofy doofy. I mean, oofy doofy is the real thing, but even if a guy is getting his look match, even if you're an ugly loser guy, unemployed bum who smokes weed all day and plays Xbox, and you get your looks match, that's still meaning that that woman's not practicing hypergamy. That's still not practicing hypergamy because she's going for a loser guy and she's a loser, So I don't know if that's low self-esteem. I don't know what that really is, but it's not only oofy doofy as well. Certain charismatic guys never get anything. I don't know what you mean. You're saying guys with charisma don't get women? I don't know, man. I don't know what you mean there. So yeah, I mean, I just want to touch on these points because it's important that we understand that this is not a thing where we have a high tier men occupying and dominating a certain class of women. That's a lie. We have to understand that. So I want to I want to take it to more of a detailed explanation, right? I mean, so let's first of all touch on, the looks thing, right? What I've noticed, you guys tell me if you've noticed this as well, right? You got these fat women, right? And I've spoken to fat women. So some fat women, right, they don't even look that bad. They're fat, okay? They don't look that bad. They're fat, they're not pretty girl. Well, they actually have a good face, but they would be good looking if they lost weight, right? But these women, they're going for obese men. Fat women prefer obese men to men in shape. Have you guys noticed this? Fat women date men that are obese. They don't want to date men in shape. So for some of you guys who who don't mind fat women, some of you guys, you don't mind dating a fat woman. You don't mind dating a woman that's overweight, right? These women are actually going for guys that are in worse shape than you are. These women are going for fatter men. They'll tell you, I like fat men. I like big boys. And some of these women are not bad looking at all. I mean, most fat women now are going for fat men. So even the option of land whale, is being thrown out the window. That's how bad the dating scene has become. That, even the option of land whale is going out the window. And I'm not saying all fat women are with fat men, but majority, that's what I see. I don't know if it's their self-esteem. I don't know if it's their self-esteem that leads them to dating fat men. I don't really know exactly why fat women prefer fat men. Maybe because they feel more comfortable. Maybe because they don't want a guy. They don't want to feel big. They don't want to feel big. They're insecure about their fatness. What the hell did I just step in? I don't know exactly the reason why. But what I can tell you right now is that women are going for guys that are less physically attractive than what you guys are. So when people talk about looks, I just look at the looks argument and I see it as a joke to me because the whole thing with the looks thing, people are saying it, but they're not showing it. They're saying that it's dominated by looks, but yet they're not showing that it's dominated by looks. I don't see any domination by looks. I don't see that. The whole looks argument is a weak argument created by men who aren't getting the results themselves. So because they're not getting the results themselves, they feel bitter and angry over it. And then they start blaming women for going for men that are too high on the food chain. That's what they do. So you say, I was avoiding the word Chad. Chad is another mythical fantasy created by this group of people, a red pill or whatever you want to call them. It's another mythical fantasy. And like the video, guys, like the video. The likes are good, man. All right, we're still going. The rain has messed everything up, man. It's too rainy out here. But yeah, let me continue. So yeah, I was talking about the Chad thing. The Chad is a mythical concept, but there's no such thing as Chads. I mean, Chads are in Hollywood. You know, Zac Efron is under 6 feet tall, but these Chads are in Hollywood, bro. Like, you know, even like there's no Chad on, like, you go to a working class community, or you know, you go to a working class community, or you know, just your general like town, your larger town, or you know, a smaller city. There's no such thing as Chads walking around. I never went to school with any Chads, and you know, there's no Chads in this area. Chads are only in like Beverly Hills, and like that show 90210 that used to come on TV. You know, there's no such thing as Chads, bro. Like, you know, yeah, they do exist in certain areas, but there's this idea that women are looking for Chads. If women are looking for Chads, they ain't finding them. You know, maybe some of you guys are in certain locations where there are Chads. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm telling you right now that this concept of Chads getting all the women is a fantasy. You know, there is no Chads getting all the women. It's a made-up concept. You know, it's a made-up concept that Chads are getting all the women. If Chads are getting all the women, then why don't you see any Chads with women? You know, I mean, these guys, like I said, they can tell you something. Telling me something doesn't mean anything. You have to show it to me. I'm just getting confused with people going back and forth with different theories. There is no unifying theory yet. Well, what you got to understand, I'm going to explain this. There's different things going on simultaneously. You know, I wish it wasn't raining, because the rain is messing up the screen, man. The comments are going on and off. Everything's messing up, you know. I don't know if there's any rain protector or anything you can buy, like, that protects the screen, like, from rain, but you can still, there must be something like that out there. A screen protector, I don't know if that will work, but, you know. So yeah, there's different things happening at the same time. What these guys are trying to sell you is an oversimplification of what's going on. They're trying to sell you that there's only one thing going on at the same time. So what they're saying, women are hypergamous, they're going for high LMS guys. That's one thing that's happening on the same time. But it's not like, it doesn't work like that. There's different types of women doing different things simultaneously. So there cannot be just one thing happening. When you talk about women being hypergamous, yes, there's hypergamy. Yes, there is hypergamy. There's no shadow of a doubt about that. There is hypergamy. I've never denied the fact that there is hypergamy. Who cares what women are choosing? I don't know why men are on these forums discussing them so much. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the truth. I mean, you talk about what women are choosing, but at the end of the day, these guys aren't improving their own lives, though. You know? Yeah, I said my father had a woman, okay? My father had a woman, but it didn't save him from having, you know, ending up a bitter old man, basically. It didn't save him. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, man. But yeah, the sound is cutting. I'm gonna have to edit this crap, man. But yeah, so I want to get back to what was I saying? This video isn't as good as I thought it would be. What was I saying? I was saying something. Yeah, so there's different things happening at the same time. So, you know, I've known some child lights who do good, but where's this, what country is that in though? I mean, you know, when you talk about Chads, these Chads do not exist in low income areas. They do not exist in low income areas, even average income areas. Yes, they exist in Beverly Hills. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. The Chads don't have anything to do with the average guy anyway. There are no Chads at all in low income areas. They just don't exist. You know, they just don't exist. I mean, you can't sit there and tell me, Ognash, that you live in a low income area and you see Chads walking around with women. You can't honestly sit there and tell me that. You know, I'm better looking than most guys on the street. And I'm not good, I don't do any look maxing. I'm not good looking either. And I don't do any look maxing. And I'm better looking than most guys on the street. Most guys just don't care about looks maxing. So someone said, I missed some comments here. Hell's belief women don't care as much is probably the most sound argument. You know, do women care about men? Absolutely not. You know, so it's true. They don't. I mean, they don't care about men. But we're going to get into what is going to make them possibly care about men. Because, yeah, women don't care about men. You know why? Women don't care about men because right now we're in a time of financial, well, we were, now we're heading to the Great Depression, but we were not historically, but recent times, we've been in a time of financial, how do you say, prosperity. Let's put it that way, right? We've been in a time of financial prosperity. So because we've been in a time of financial prosperity, what does that mean? That means that women have all their basic needs are already met, okay? All women's basic needs in today's modern Western societies are already met, meaning that they don't have to care about men in order to have a good life that's going to meet the basic needs. That's why in other countries, right, you think about it like this. You think about it like this. In other countries, women, okay, if you go to those countries, women are all over you because you have the resources to meet their basic needs, because the government doesn't do it in those countries. The government is not going to pay for a woman's kid in third world countries. That's why you have so many girls in third world countries that have a kid. They're seeking out a foreigner, you know. They're seeking out a foreigner. They're seeking out a foreigner who can bankroll this kid. You know, a lot of single mothers, they treat men like crap, you know. Why do you think that is? Like, single mothers treat men like crap? Because they can. They can get away with it. Single mothers can get away with treating men like crap, not because they're making good money. Most single mothers are retarded. They can't make any good money. But because they can do it, right? They can do it because of the fact that men, they don't need men because the government is meeting their needs. In low income areas, there's a different set of standards for a man. Women are more focused on money than on looks. I don't know, man. I don't know, because, I mean, if they were focused on money, wouldn't they be more hypergamous? But you're right, they're not focused on looks. That's one thing for sure. They're not focused on looks. Women don't care about men because men have thrown themselves at women for decades, so men have made themselves of no value because of supply and demand. Well, men don't have any value, because what we have today is we have something going on where, because like I said, women's basic needs are met, okay? Women only need a man for luxury, and that's why the money standards are so high. The money standards are so high because a woman only needs a man for luxury. You know, a woman doesn't need a man for a basic lifestyle. Women in the third world need a man for a basic lifestyle. Women in the first world only need a man for luxury, which is why you need to bring so much money to the table if you want to attract a woman with your money. You need to bring hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to the table, because of the fact that if you don't do that, they're not going to see it as anything because they already have all this stuff. They already have all this stuff because it's so easy, you know, as women became more economically empowered. The economic empowerment of women is one of the worst things that can happen to us men. You know, economically empowering women, what they call feminism, has destroyed the dating scene. You know, it's destroyed the dating scene. Some guys say it's good, we don't have to pay for women, which, you know, I kind of get that, but at the same time, the cost of living has gone up as well. I don't want to get into too financial, but, you know, it's not all, you know, as some of these MGTOW guys make it out to be, you know. But yeah, I mean, back to the standards thing. I mean, if women made a consensus, right, that we are not going to date any loser men, any unemployed men, okay, any men who do drugs, obviously if they're doing drugs but they're making a lot of money, that's different. But these loser guys who sit at home and play Xbox and smoke weed all day and get drunk and live off the government support, if women made a consensus and say, if women made a consensus, okay, if women made a consensus and said, we flat out refuse to date any man who's unemployed, who just lives off the government, who's a loser, millions of women would be up for grabs. Millions of women would be up for grabs, guys. Just overnight. Millions of women will become up for grabs because of the fact that men, okay, that are at the bottom of the food chain will be completely exited from the dating scene, which some people believe is happening today. Some people believe it's already happening, that loser men are completely X'd out from the dating scene, but that's not true. That's not true. Loser men are completely X'd out from the marriage scene. This is the mistake that they're making. The marriage scene, yes. If you want to get married, you're going to have to bring some substantial money to the table. You're making minimum wage. There's no way you're getting married in today's society. Not a chance. The average wedding ring, okay, average wedding ring in the USA costs $6,000. The average wedding costs around $30,000. So you're not going to get married if you're a guy making minimum wage. If you're a guy who, just isn't competitive at all in life, you're not going to get married. It's true. Women are hypergamous when it comes to marriage. Okay, women are hypergamous when it comes to marriage, which is why marriage standards have been going up drastically. In the 80s, you used to be able to get married with $1,000. A wedding, you could have a wedding for $1,000. Nowadays, it's $30,000 and it's getting higher. It's going to be $40,000, $50,000 soon. So you're saying, so women are looking for a trophy husband these days instead of the other way around. Women are only marrying guys who are really above them in the food chain, to be honest with you. I want the traditional marriage, but nowadays in 2020, I mean, you got guys like Blue Sky Media who got married in 2005 or something like that. I mean, I think he said before he got married, back in 2005 or 2007, the standards have changed, man. Blue Sky Media will never get married again, never. The standards have changed, man. It's become too, women are, because the more women get economically empowered, it just makes it a lot easier now, It's a lot harder to compete, So some people say that the marriage is going down because, there aren't enough economically viable men. There aren't enough economically viable men. And that's why the marriage is going down. I don't know if that's true. Okay, but most incels pedestalize women. Look, the incel community, right? The incel community are delusional. They have no idea how the world works, man. Incels don't understand the world. And let's be honest, incels aren't competing at any level, It's not like incels are making 150, 200,000 a year, and they complain about not getting women. I mean, this isn't really about incels because incels don't really represent anything. They're a tiny proportion of the population. The reality of the situation is this, my friend. When we talk about this whole situation, I'm trying to help average men. I'm trying to help average men. I'm trying to talk. When I talk, I'm talking about in the context of average men. I'm not talking about in the context of a tiny proportion of guys who have a mental illness. That doesn't represent, like, they're irrelevant. I really don't care about that. You know, you guys can't hear me. Don't waste your time thinking about what women want. I don't waste my time, brother. I just make this video to address people, because I'm not trying to live my life to impress women. But yeah, man, I mean, we're in a time right now where it's getting depressing, man. It's getting depressing. I'm starting to get depressed, you know. Oh, okay. I'm starting to get depressed, man. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, this whole lockdown thing, I mean, we can't do anything. There's nothing to look forward to, man. There's nothing to look forward to anymore. They've locked down everything. I mean, our rights are being taken away. Doctors are being arrested. I mean, it's kind of out the topic, but I don't know. There's nothing to look forward to, man. It's like, I don't know, man. But yeah, I got to think about this, like, one thing, right? Like, I look at the what's going on right now, and we got two different things on display here. We got the girls that are really attractive, right? The really attractive girls who are basically going for the rich, famous men, like, these big gamers, like Tafui, Ninja. These guys ain't struggling for women, but you look at Ninja was dating like some hot blonde. Sorry, Tafui was dating a hot blonde called Corina Kopf, Kopf, Corina Kopf, some hot blonde chick, right? And it's like these women are going for, like some women, you got to be a celebrity to date them, and then, like, why can't they just date like a normal guy? And then you got some women, you have to be like and then you got the other group of women, they'll date anything, they'll date some low tier men, they'll date pretty much anything, man. It's like, at the end of the day, I mean, these guys ain't complaining, these guys with the money, they're not complaining. But we have a situation now where women are only going for money if you've got so much of it, right? You've got so much money that these women are basically, they're basically saying that if you want to date me as a hot girl, you're going to have to be a celebrity or you're going to have millions. Okay, and they can do that because of the economic situation that we're in right now. Then you have women who will date guys, loser guys in their local area. Okay, they'll date loser guys in their local area because it's easy. A lot of women, I feel, don't want to spend a lot of time in the dating scene. I feel that way. I feel like a lot of women don't want to spend a lot of time on the dating scene, man. They just want to basically run away from the reality of what's going on here. They don't want to spend a lot of time on the dating scene, man. And when I look at the truth, okay, and we see that a lot of women just they don't care because it's so easy for them to live. I mean, you go on a woman's Instagram, they're going to brunch. I mean, where do these women get this money from? They're going to brunch, they're eating out at these restaurants, spending 50 on a meal. I mean, it's like, these women are living it up. I mean, because they have jobs. But what we're seeing now is that women are losing their jobs. And we've heard that the economic depression is going to hit women harder than men. The last recession was called a man's session. Okay, this one is something else. It's going to hit women harder. Childcare. Okay. Who does childcare, by the way? You guys know that men don't do childcare. Why is this thing upside down? Dating limbo, as Steve Hoker calls it. The hell is going on anyway? Yeah, so childcare. Who does childcare? Who does childcare? Women. You know, childcare is done by women. Childcare is dead. Who the hell needs childcare when everybody's working from home? So those women in childcare, they've lost their income. It's over for them. You know, and there's other industries, the hospitality industry. You know, who's going on a cruise today? Nobody's. The cruise industry is finished. They're going to be selling these cruises for scrap metal. You know, women are going to be basically, these cruises are going to be sold for scrap metal. All these women who work on these cruise ships, the air hostess, they go on the planes, all these jobs are gone. You know, nobody's going to be doing it. You know, so this is, women are going to be pushed out of the work. You know, just recently, there was a cinema chain called Cineworld. I think that's how you say Cineworld, right? It's closed down. Thousands of people have lost their jobs. A lot of women I've seen, you know, go on Twitter and put "lost my job." You know, this might feel, you guys might feel better about this. You guys might feel better about this. Like when you go on Twitter and put "lost my job" and you see women talk, "Oh, I lost my job, I lost my job," you know. A lot of women are losing their jobs. Okay. A lot of women are losing their jobs. It's a good thing, because women's dating choices really come down to the situation that they're in. Okay? The situation that they're in. So if women are in a situation, if women are in a time of prosperity, they're not going to need to really date guys unless they have a lot going for them, or unless they just want a guy for whatever reason. Some women just want to pop out a kid, which I think is wrong. You know, I think it's wrong. But some women just want to pop out a kid, man. Okay, so because these women have had so much opportunity today, okay, they have been able to pretty much 100% control the dating scene. They have complete control over it, because the reality of the situation is they don't actually need a man. They don't need a man. You guys are right, they don't need a man. But the economic depression, I believe, can change all this. Because if we're in a situation where women's boyfriend lose their job, women lose their job, their lifestyle is going to be harmed by that. And one thing women don't want to give up is their lifestyle. One thing women don't want to give up is their lifestyle, and they're not going to give up their lifestyle. Women are really all the same. It's just that the factors surrounding it are different. Women don't want to give up their lifestyle. It's pointless to do self-improvement for women. Well, that's a simp to do that. You know, I mean, but don't you want a better life? I mean, you know, I want a better life. I want a better life for myself. Why would you do self-improvement for women? The question is here is, if there is a big lifestyle decrease and women start wanting men again, will men accept women, or will men say you have shown your cards already? Well, men are going to have dominion over single mothers. You know, single mothers are going to be begging men. You know, and the tide is starting to turn in men's favor. I'm telling you. Thing though, here's the thing. It doesn't have to be a thing where you're gonna fall in love with women. Women are going to be in a position where basically, let me tell you what's already happening, right? Men are already treating women like crap. Men with the power. Let me tell you what men are doing. So we're in a pandemic right now, right? Why do you keep talking about this guy, Wild Bill? Didn't that guy leave YouTube? Anyway, so we're in a pandemic right now. Do you know what men are doing? You know what landlords are doing? I said this before. Landlords are telling women, right? And I like this story, but landlords are telling women, if you don't have sex with me, I'm kicking you out and your kids on the street. That's what they're telling women. I'm kicking you and your kids out on the street if you don't have sex with me. That's what men are going to do. They're going to use their financial power to exploit women. It's not a thing where, oh, women come back to us. No, it's a thing where women are going to be exploited by men because of what they've done to men. That's what it's going to be like. It's not going to be a thing like, let's get together, let's start a family. It's not going to be like that. He streamed more often than me, but what's the point though? That tells me that guy, he ain't really got much going for him, because if he's streaming so often and the videos aren't even getting saved, what is the point? Is he lonely or something? If these videos weren't getting saved, I would not do any streams. The only reason why I do them is because I'm going to put them up later as a video so people can watch him. If he's streaming just to stream it, he's basically a lonely guy who just wants to chat to people. Which is, that's kind of pathetic. I'm not trying to diss the guy, but that's kind of pathetic, in my opinion. But yeah. This is hopeful thinking. Okay, so why did those women have sex with those men then? I'm talking about the landlords. Why did they do that? If it's just hopeful thinking. Why did they do that? You gotta ask that question. So have you read The Manipulated Man by a Woman from Argentina? I think you'd agree with all of her points, how women are just into men for what they can get from them. Yeah, women, look, at the end of the day, hypergamy is not a bad thing. I agree with hypergamy. I agree with hypergamy because the thing is with hypergamy, right? With hypergamy, it's actually good for society, but we got 11 people in the chat. Yeah, with hypergamy, I'm not against hypergamy. I can tell you right now, I'm not against hypergamy at all. I think hypergamy is something that, if it's done to a reasonable level, is a good thing. Because it would remove loser men from the dating scene entirely. It would remove guys who sit on their ass and play Xbox all day and just smoke weed. They would be removed from the dating scene entirely. And that would give average men access to more women. I don't think average men should be struggling. I think loser men should be struggling. But women have made average men struggle. Now, it's not because of the fact that, there's too many, there's women are only going for the top men. That's not why. It's because women's standards are so low that it makes the whole thing so competitive. That's the reason why. Humans are into humans based on what they can get from... Let me just read this. Sounds like a real free SMP without safety nets that inflate women's value, give them advantages. Well, here's the thing. With this whole economic depression changing, women don't even know there's an economic depression coming. They're not prepared for it. They're not prepared for it, man. Women ain't prepared for this. But look, this this is our only saving grace. I mean, this is the only thing that we really have to enjoy during this time. I mean, some people might say it's wicked and cruel, but let's be honest, did women care about the 2009 recession, that men were suffering more? And women didn't give a toss. Women didn't say, oh, men are suffering more, let's give up feminism for a bit while men are suffering. Women didn't give a toss. So if women ain't going to care about men, then why should we care about them? Why should we care about them? Why are women going for oofy doofy? Why are women going for oofy doofy? Well, women are going for oofy doofy because when you look at the oofy doofy, man, I'm going to make a video on this, but for example, if a woman wants to raise a kid gender neutral, okay? If a woman wants to put her son in a dress, is a masculine man going to agree to that? Is a rich man going to agree to that? Think about it. If a woman wants to put your son in a dress, are you going to agree to it? That's the reason why women are going for oofy doofy. The oofy doofy is allowing her to do those things. He's a wimp, He's a complete wimp, man. I think slightly above average, women should have no say at all. No, women haven't had a say at all throughout history. Throughout history, women have not had a say. When men controlled the dating scene, it was fairer. It should be up to men to create a hierarchy. Yes, but men allowed feminism to happen. We cannot just put all the blame on women. We allowed feminism to happen. Not us, because we weren't born. They allowed feminism to. Why? Because they wanted to get laid. That's the truth. Men wanted to get laid. They want free access to women. And I think it did work. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when all these policies were being implemented, when all these policies were being implemented, I think it did work. I think it did work. I think it did work when all these policies were being implemented. It did work, It did. When all these policies were being implemented, it did work. Men did get laid, I think. Probably. I don't know. I mean, but that's the thing. Men wanted to get laid and they sold out everything just to get laid. And that's what happened. So that's why feminism has such a grip on society today. I got to make sure nobody comes around. If people hear me saying this, this is not politically correct. Or I could get into a fight or something. Whatever comes, men always suffer. When women suffer, men die. Man, that is legit, man. Well, whatever comes, men always suffer more. Men have always suffered more. I got 19% battery level. That's enough to finish this video. Men have always suffered more. That women will lose their jobs and start responding to their messages on dating sites again. Single mothers will be under the dominion of men. Now are you going to take care of a woman's kids? I'm not going to take care of a woman's kids. I'm not going to take care of a woman's kids, but, I have to tell you that, I'm in a situation where, I know I'm going to be rich. And, I'm going to be a target for women. But I have the knowledge now. I have the knowledge now, right, Lookism is nonsense. What was I going to say? I have the knowledge now to realize that, women are out there to exploit men. So I know that. But yeah, Lookism is nonsense. Facing LMS is a cult leader. He may well be an agent as well. He may well be an agent because I thought he was real at the beginning, but if you notice, he pushes homosexuality a lot on his channel. He talks about men becoming trannies. He talks about going to a gay bar. He says he has no problem with homosexuality and he wishes more men would become homosexual. Something is off about that. I mean, what guy in the manosphere? I've never seen a guy in the manosphere that supports homosexuality. I've never seen a guy in the manosphere that supports homosexuality the way Face LMS does. That leads me to believe that he might be an agent. I mean, it's weird. I mean, maybe he's just crazy, but he's so obsessed with this homosexual tranny. Whenever he starts talking by himself, he starts talking about trannies and homosexuals and going to gay bars, and the guy's a weirdo. I mean, why do you call Wild Bill a troll? He was a troll. He did troll me before. I'm not saying that he always trolls me, but he does sometimes. Is TFM gay? But I heard TFM is gay though. No, I don't know. Is TFM actually gay or is he straight? I don't know what that guy is, man. I mean, I feel sorry for TFM because he got like, I don't understand why TFM doesn't just start a gaming channel. He has gaming knowledge. I mean, TFM should just start a gaming channel and forget about MGTOW. He's too obsessed with MGTOW. He's not making any money off it, and he spends so much time. He spends like 15-20 hours a week probably on MGTOW. I mean, it's too much. Jack Peterson. A lot of these guys are gay, man. I mean, to be honest with you. Chad has a better chance. Well, Chad has a better chance because he has an app that caters to his demographic. But that doesn't mean he's getting women on there. Because, I have an app that I got a lot of matches on. Matches don't really mean anything. This stream has been terrible, man. I don't know if I blocked some of you guys because it's so wet. If I blocked some of you guys, I'm sorry, I'll unblock you, man, if I blocked you by accident. Do a call-in show. Wild Bill is not going to discuss anything, man. Wild Bill is just, I mean, look. Do you think Steve Hawker may be gay? Do I think Steve Hawker might be gay? I don't know, man. Listen, that guy had opportunities to get women. Let me tell you something, right? In the 80s and 90s, it wasn't hard to get women. He's talking bullshit, bro. I'm not trying to attack that guy, but I'm sorry, but if you're my age, you know that, like most of my parents, friends, and like my friends' parents and every people I went to school with, anybody could get women in the 80s and 90s. He's talking bollocks. I don't know why that guy is acting like he couldn't get. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with that guy, bro. I mean, yeah, it's hard to get women now, but I think we have enough evidence to tell you that, back then it wasn't that hard to get women. I mean, I don't know what that guy's problem is, but let's talk about Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson never moved me. A lot of people like Jordan Peterson. For me, I prefer Dan Pena. I don't like Jordan Peterson. Like, he tell you it's all about your IQ. I mean, I don't really think Jordan Peterson is correct on that. But anyway, that's got nothing to do with the stream, man. Why are you bringing that up? They're too insane, introverted, or boring. He's like 5'6" and angry all the time. 5'6". But listen, women are dating 5'6" guys, though. We can laugh at 5'6", but women are dating 5'6" guys. I mean, that's the truth. But yeah, I mean, look, it's up to you guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys are making money. I don't know if you guys are trying to make money. I don't know what you guys really like kind of believe in. But, the decline in marriage has harmed the dating scene. Because if everybody wanted to get married, if every woman wanted to get married, then it would be more simple to get women, because you would have to be straight financially. You would have to be in a decent financial position. But because obviously not every man's going to be rich, women would have to settle for, men who are decently like well off, or just doing slightly above average. So, we need a form of hypergamy. I mean, if you want to get women, I mean, if you're MGTOW, 100% MGTOW, you don't care about women. But I don't think most guys are 100% MGTOW. And I don't think most guys will ever go 100% MGTOW. I mean, marriage, I mean, and I've noticed this thing about women saying they're Christian. Born again Christian. You know what born again Christian means when women say it? Born again Christian means I'm a woman that used to party, that used to have unprotected, I don't know about unprotected, but used to have casual sex. Now I want to get married, so I'm born again Christian. I mean, this is a complete and utter joke what these women are doing. Have you guys noticed this? I'm born again. What do you mean? So why weren't you born? Why do you only get born again when you want to get married? It's like, you have these certain women on YouTube. It's like, I'm born again Christian, and next video, I want a husband. It's like, any woman that says she's born again, any woman that says she's born again, she just want a husband, man. I mean, and that's the thing. But marriage is a mess right now anyway. I mean, what did that guy say? Future too, but what did he say? He said the dating scene is a product of the decline in marriage. You might be right about that. Why did that guy ban you, man? I mean, I don't know what's wrong with that guy. I mean, why can't he just get a girlfriend? I mean, isn't he 140 IQ? Why doesn't he just become a plastic surgeon and date his clients? So, plastic surgeons aren't struggling for women. I tell you that much. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with that. That guy don't want to do nothing to get women, man. That's the honest truth about it. It's not hard to get a girlfriend. It's hard to get a girlfriend that brings some value to your life. Any guy can get a woman just to use him for his money or his house. I'm going to talk about that in another video. But yeah, man, if women don't want to get married anymore, or sorry, women do want to get married, but I just put something in the chat for that to go away. But yeah, I keep getting distracted. Yeah, we need a form of hypergamy to come back. You know, if you want to enjoy women, you know, if you want to enjoy women, we need a form of hypergamy to come back that will allow men to get women. You know, if hypergamy just is dead, hypergamy is dead. It's only just a bunch of hot women on Instagram who want to date celebrities. That's the hypergamy today. It's not the guy. You know, you do have some form of hypergamy, but these guys are simping hard. I mean, it's too much. I mean, you just better go MGTOW. I mean, you know, you just better go MGTOW, to be honest with you. No, I never got banned by that guy. I don't have any problem with that guy. That guy is right about I mean, didn't he say the virus is a hoax? He's right about that. He's actually right about a lot of things, that guy. You know, I don't have an issue with that guy. He's right about the virus is a hoax, man. This thing is a hoax. But anyway, so, you know, you got a simp, man. I mean, a lot of these guys are making 50,000, 100,000. They can get a wife, but goodness me, the amount of simping that they're doing is just too much. I mean, you know, they are simping to these women, bro. Seriously, I mean, you know, that's why if I'm not making a lot of money, I'm just gonna go MGTOW. I'm not gonna simp to that level. Because if you're making a lot of money, at least you got like a lot of leverage whereby, okay, you can leave me if you want, but at the end of the day, you're going to struggle to find a guy on my level. If you're making millions or at least hundreds of thousands, you know, that woman ain't just going to be able to get guys easily on your level. But if you're making like 50 to 100,000, bro, like, you know, you can get women, but you're going to have to simp. You know, and that's the problem. I mean, I think MGTOW's never going to pick up, though. I just feel like the thing is with MGTOW is that the problem with MGTOW, not enough men are going to go MGTOW. Most men still want to reproduce their seed. And that's where MGTOW has a zero tolerance for that. MGTOW has a zero tolerance for reproducing your seed. It has a zero tolerance for marriage. Which, you know, I feel like, you know, on an individual level, it's a good thing, but it's not a group strategy. MGTOW is not a group strategy. It's an individual thing. It's okay, yeah, but it's not a group strategy. It's not going to help men get women, which I know the point is not to help men get women, but most men still want to get women. That's the problem. You know, I can go without women, especially if I got money. You know, Producer Michael, he's MGTOW, by the way. He doesn't say he's MGTOW, but he doesn't care about women. I never see, like, you guys know Producer Michael. I never see, like, this guy can get women easily, bro. This guy, you know, he can buy private jets. He can buy, like, you know, he used to have a yacht back in the day. This guy's like a movie producer. You know, he can get women easily. And he looks decent for his age. You know, he's tall, he's 6'4". You know, he's like 60 years old, but he can still get women easily, but he don't care about. I never see this guy, so he don't care about women. Some men don't care about women, but especially if you got money, like, you got so much to keep you entertained, you don't really care about women like that, you know. But what's this guy saying? My point is that dating is something that people do for short term nowadays. Courtship is largely divorced from tradition and lacks higher purpose on its face in modern society. Yeah, I mean, look, short-term dating is a waste of time because who's benefiting in that situation? The woman, not the man. You know, I mean, if that's the case, just go and see an escort as a man. If it's just gonna be a short-term thing, just go and see an escort. Then, you know, that's not beneficial to men. Dating is something people do for short-term enjoyment. Yeah, I just read that. Steve Hawker say it's impossible to go MGTOW. But he's MGTOW himself. So, so what is he saying then? He's a fake MGTOW. That guy, what is he talking about? He's a fake MGTOW then himself. People don't know what they want. They just follow their base instincts, which would be extremely useful in a less complex society. Interesting. People don't know what they want. My battery is running out, so I'm just going to read these comments and then I'm done. No, that guy says he's MGTOW, bro, as well. You know. That guy says he's MGTOW as well, man. There's nothing wrong with going MGTOW. Let me just finish this, okay? Let me finish this bullshit. He'll get mad at you for saying it. Same with Bill. I don't know what you're talking about. You're not talking to me anyway. There's a big difference between TFL and MGTOW. Both of them see the dating market as messed up and women are expecting too much for what they have to offer in return. Of course. Of course. Compared badminton with saying there's a bunch of crocs coming at you. Who cares what people think about your hobby, man? You know, who cares what people think about your hobby? MGTOW move on with their lives. Well, look, a lot of MGTOWs struggle with women. You know Venture MGTOW, which I feel sorry for Venture MGTOW. I mean, you guys know what's happening with Venture MGTOW right now, bro. That guy is suffering, bro. Venture MGTOW is suffering right now, bro. You know, but Venture MGTOW admitted that even when he was in his prime, he was only getting 3s out of 10. When he was young, he was only getting 3. And we're talking about in the 70s, no, I think it was the 80s probably, and 90s, he was getting 3 out of 10 women who were struggling. He admitted it on the YouTube comments. He didn't say it in a video, YouTube comments. So Venture MGTOW was really struggling, you know. Venture MGTOW was really struggling, and he could be considered to be TFL. Some MGTOW are wishing for a collapse. Well, you know, there is going to be a collapse. But the thing is with a lot of MGTOWs, they're not really established themselves anyway. So, I mean, how are they going to deal with it? I mean, some of them are, but anyways, I'll make the case that women don't benefit from modern dating. Take the FDS Reddit. What's FDS Reddit? For example, they constantly complain about low-value males, which I will call inflated value males. So yeah, because I don't really know actually, to be honest with you. But when you talk about women benefiting from dating, I mean, anyway, my battery's gone, so I'm gonna have to finish on this, guys. It's the Unreal Man here, the truth of manosphere. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you aren't already, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're informed every time I upload a new video. Alright guys, let's let this die out, man.